guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Crystal. I'm a single female from Rochester in Kent. If you like my videos, please press the like button. Please do subscribe. Good morning, Tuesday. I'm getting ready to take my dog out for a walk, my Chihuahua. I'm not feeling in the best of moods. I do apologise, but I'm only human. And I get depressed, like most people do, when things keep going wrong, things keep happening, you get a bout of depression. And hey ho, here we go again. Battling to go outside just to walk Max when I feel rotten, but I will put a smile on my face and I'll carry on, because that's what we all do, right? Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday to Sir Lenworth George Henry, aka Lenny Henry, comedian, actor, and British national treasure.
Alexa, how old is Lenny Henry?
Lenny Henry is 65 years old.
Oh my goodness me. We're all getting old. I remember Lenny Henry when I was a teenager. Oh my goodness. Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include Canadian actress Emily Hampshire, American actor Elliot Gould, American actress Carla Gugino, American actress Rebecca De Mornay, and English singer and songwriter Liam Payne.
So guys, like I said, I'm about to take my dog for a walk, Max, who is a lovely little chewy chihuahua, as I call him. And nothing much planned for today. I can't go up to my mum's because the stress of calling a taxi home is too much for my mother. She is elderly and she says it like starts arguments and things, and so I can't even go up to my mum's now. To be fair, this is taking the proverbial piss, living like this. It really is. My neighbour's gone out upstairs with his glasses on his head. So he drives a car, I don't drive. So the guy upstairs has put his glasses on his head and he's driven off. Princess Diana put her sunglasses on her head. My sister put glasses on her head. I mean, it makes sense, isn't it? Especially if you wear sunglasses, but not prescription ones, that you put your sunglasses on and then your glasses are on your head so you don't lose them. A load of people put their glasses on their head. It's to stop you losing them. Especially if I've got two pairs of glasses. I've got one for short-sightedness, for reading, and I've got a pair for long-sightedness, which is distance. So I do tend to put my glasses on my head. So I'm in my flat. There's going to be no trouble. I'm not angry. I'm not going out anywhere. I feel quite low. So I'm going to come back, try and listen to some music, maybe do some writing, and then I'm just going to carry on with the rest of my day. I'm not angry. I have taken a 5-minute call this morning from my mum. And I was feeling low before I even spoke to my mother. Times are hard, the cost of living's gone up, and I'm stuck in my flat by myself nearly every day. Every day. And sometimes when you live alone, I don't know, other people like me, you could go 2 weeks before you actually speak to a person, especially, the elderly and infirm that can't get out, right, and they're stuck indoors all day. They are. Some poor elderly people are stuck indoors all day and they hardly see anybody. Some people love being alone. They love living alone. They love it. They enjoy it. Me, myself, I couldn't predict what was going to happen to me, and this is how it's happened. I didn't want it. I'm a friendly person that likes company. My marriage went wrong. We had got divorced, and then he ended up with the kids, and I ended up on my own. and it's been this way ever since, but I never wanted that to happen. I'm a person that likes company, likes to chat, and this is what's happened, right? But I can live on my own. I've lived on my own since I was divorced from my ex-husband, but mainly since I left Victoria Road, which was in 2012, completely, when I got a flat at Lansdowne Court. So I've lived alone for 12 years. I've had various on and off relationships which haven't worked out. And I like having my own flat, and I prefer someone else having their own accommodation, because you've got to make sure a relationship works before you leave your accommodation or they leave theirs. You need to get to know someone for about 6 months, because you need to know their habits, what annoys you, whatever. So meeting someone on a date like once a week, you're not going to know them. So 6 months, and maybe testing at the weekend if they stay over, seeing if that you're compatible. Because a lot of times it goes wrong. Men or even women that tell you they love you when they first see you, that's wrong. You can't love someone, or maybe you do fall in love at first sight, but it's never happened for me. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the rest of my day happily by myself and my lovely dog. I mean, missing my cat has started to sink in, and of course I'm going to start to feel upset, but I'll get back on my feet. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
And through social media, so it was literally the power of social media that got them, seen. We ended up tracing them to Poland through the help of a private investigator.
Oh, you hired at your own cost?
Yeah, we hired at our own cost. Yeah, it cost in the region of about £2,500 to try and track this stuff down. We got it back. Well, we found all the information. We went to the police. We actually went and stood at the police station and said, look, this is everything we've got. The person who was selling it was a Polish resident that had a business that was registered in the UK to a residential property in Leicester. We went to Leicester Police. They did nothing.
Oh, this is incredible.
They went to Leicester
What did they
Police.
tell you? What did they tell you when they were doing nothing? What did they say to you? So let's just go back a bit. The first person that you contacted, the first police officer you spoke to, when he said, oh, look, we found our bikes, they're for sale on, getmybike.com. What did they say to that?
They said that they would investigate it, and then when we did our own investigation, they were astounded by how much information that we'd gathered through a private investigator, and acknowledged that that this was our property.
Yeah. But it's in Poland by now. They're dealing with their shop.
By then it was, by then
They're
it was
mopping their
Poland.
brow in amazement at your investigatory skills, and the bike's got it's all the way to Poland or Hungary.
Yeah, so it's all the way in Poland. They were astounded, and then they said that they couldn't help us right now because the officer that was dealing with it wasn't on shift.
Right.
So we ended up going to the person that was selling it, presenting them with all the evidence that we had on them, and saying, look, if you don't give us our stuff back, we're going to go to the police, in the hope that they had no idea how inadequate the police force was. We took a gamble.
But they'd be like me. They just presume that the police were in this sort of situation with all of this evidence.
We took a gamble, and the gamble paid off, but we did have to drive all the way to Poland to go and get our property back. It cost £2,500. We had absolutely none of the evidence that we gathered was through the
police.
help.
So it was all doable. It was all fairly, and presumably, if the police had got their backside in gear, pardon the pun, they would have got it before it left the country.
I don't know.
But when it was up
I
for
don't-
sale,
I
if you
don't
found
know.
it up for sale the first time, it was probably still in this country, or do you think it was?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Well, someone is selling my stolen equipment, so how can they
Yeah.
not be under arrest? They're literally
Yeah, exactly.
selling my
It
stolen
was-
equipment.
Well, everything that we traced came back to the UK, and the British police did nothing. They did nothing.
That's incredible. And just, again, more out of my curiosity than any necessary relevance to the story that you're telling, do you think the person that you contacted in Poland knew it was stolen, or do you think they were surprised to discover that? I think you've answered
When
that
we
question.
spoke, I think when we spoke to the individual, they denied categorically and denied. But the person that we were due to meet,
Yeah,
the seller,
yeah,
they didn't turn up. They sent somebody else.
yeah. So
I
there's
would
probably
say they knew.
a
And I would
supply
say they're
line.
still operating. Yeah, I'd say they're still operating in the UK, and nothing's been done. All the evidence is there. We were having conversations with somebody through a text message, so it could all be traced back to the UK. The police are presented with it. They still did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it is incredible. Were you shocked?
No.
You weren't. Have you had experiences? Because I think that the bit I'm trying to get past is almost the emotional impact of standing there. But I've got the evidence in my hand, and
Yeah.
officer, I'm old enough to have been told to go if I got lost in town, go and find a police officer.
Yeah, and then the ironic thing was that once we had got our property back, the police officer that was investigating our crime then contacted us the day after we got back from Poland and said, I just wondered if you could pass me all the information that you gathered. No.
No, well, I'm not often lost for words. And so you paid for an investigator, and then you paid for your travel, and then you paid for the transport to get the bikes back to Britain. How much were you in for all in?
I think we are currently about £5,000.
And the alternative was to be 32,000. Could you not have got the insurance back? Some people will be wondering.
Do you know what, James? That was the answer that I got.
Yeah.
That was the answer that I got from every police officer. Yeah, but you are insured. So what? Doesn't matter. But some of those bikes, the bikes that were stolen from us, some of them were custom, some of them were, the sentimental value, races that had been won on them, everything. You can't. I know it seems silly because it just seems like push bikes, but it could have been anyone. It could be
Doesn't
non-Rolex.
seem
It could
silly
have
at all.
been.
No, I hear you. But that's a perfect start. And I can use you now, Jane, very cynically to say to people, don't ring me with your stories about stolen bikes unless they were worth more than £32,000, because Jane has now set that bar gratifyingly high, and bizarrely it has a happy ending of sorts in that you were reunited with your property. I mean, in defence of the officer, as Julian Suffolk points out, we don't know how many other cases he had on his plate. So that's what I mean by this somewhat lazy, and I suspect misplaced presumption I have that you're all doing your best. I like being in that position, even if it means that I'm wrong. I'd rather be proved wrong on this.
Right, that was James O'Brien speaking on LBC Radio. James O'Brien. Right, I'm not in a hurry to go out myself. It is a nasty world. I told you the police are useless. It's easy to say that the police have got a lot on their plate. Well, do something about it. There are people out there, just being left, and know that the police are useless and don't even ring them because they're useless, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry to go out. A few days ago I went to Rochester High Street. I wanted to do a bit of shopping in peace and enjoy myself, and I wasn't able to. It feels like I'm being pressured every day to perform like a performing elephant in a circus. I went down Rochester High Street straight into the post office. I've suffered 2.5 years of a noisy neighbour, a thug, and a man that couldn't give a shit, basically letting his kids run up and down the ceiling nearly 24 hours at one point, and it made me ill and it made me sick, and I lost my father. He died during this noise that was happening to me upstairs. It was making me depressed and upset, and basically I went into the post office, and it was something like, they're just animals, they're disgusting. It sounded like someone was in the upstairs of the post office and banging on the ceiling while I was trying to be served. So I was made to get angry on purpose, because it's funny to watch a woman in distress getting all stressed and het up. I mean, you don't go into shops and hear someone in the ceiling, do you? Banging and making noises. I mean, when I go into I've had a woman almost stick a hoover up my bottom, cleaning in a shop while customers are coming in. So you've actually got a hoover going up and down, and you are trying to do your shopping. The things that happen to me when I go to the shops is ridiculous. It's stupid. I think if I didn't know any better, I would think that I'm an actress for free. Someone who's getting free entertainment out of me. And it shouldn't be allowed to happen, should it? To cause distress, it's a form of torture. They're actually torturing a white single woman. When I complained about him upstairs because him and his kids were like something out of your worst nightmare. Talk about neighbours from hell. Why should I get punished for what he did to me? I mean, really? It's not me that ran up and down the ceiling. It was him and his kids upstairs. That's what people do. They make out it's coming from somewhere else because they don't want to deal with it. And you know, yesterday I ordered that takeaway and I live opposite Ines Apartments. Opposite. I live on the first floor. I'm not in a disabled flat, although I should be. I'm not living in a disabled flat. Right? So he parks his car opposite Ines Apartments yesterday evening. He parks his car opposite Ines Apartments. And I told you, I ordered the delivery through my phone, which I bought from eBay. So the mind of a psycho, the mind of a psychopath. I've been in this flat 3 years, and that noise has caused me post-traumatic stress disorder. And every time I see him, it makes me feel sick and ill. See you later.